El presidente Biden y usted acaban de tener una reunión con el primer ministro Justin Trudeau, quien dijo que le daba gusto ver de regreso a los Estados Unidos. ¿Está en condiciones Estados Unidos de retomar su liderazgo mundial? ¿Está todavía a tiempo?
I think not only is there time, but honestly, there's also a strong desire for it. I wish that I could travel, but of course, COVID has put a bit of a damper on that. But I have been burning up the phone lines, talking to my counterparts around the world. And my first calls, by the way, were to Canada and Mexico and to my counterparts there. And in almost every single conversation, I'm finding a strong desire for American re-engagement. And there's a simple reason for that. I think there's a recognition in country after country that the challenges we face, that all of our countries face, and that are affecting the lives of our citizens every single day, cannot be effectively managed or dealt with by any one country acting alone. There's a premium, more than at any time that I've been involved in these issues, on international cooperation, on countries working together. And that's certainly the case in regard to the United States and Mexico. It's hard to think of countries that have more important matters and issues that are affecting the lives of citizens on both sides of the border every single day that really demand that we cooperate and work together. So I'm finding a real, more than an interest, I'd almost say a thirst for American re-engagement.
La crisis mundial provocada por la pandemia de COVID-19 ha dejado al descubierto las estrategias políticas y de influencia que están siguiendo las grandes potencias. China y Rusia, por ejemplo, están suministrando vacunas a los países que las necesitamos con urgencia. ¿No sería momento de dejar el America First, el América primero, de lado y apostar por un bloque fuerte en Norteamérica y que sean ustedes y no China y Rusia los que nos ayuden a conseguir las vacunas?
Well, we're working on exactly that. As you know, the United States not only rejoined the World Health Organization to be fully part of the fight that it is engaged in on COVID and on global health more generally, but we committed significant resources to the International Vaccine Initiative. We joined COVAX. We've committed $2 billion upfront immediately, with another $2 billion to come as other countries step up their own contributions. So we're fully engaged in the work to make sure that the world is vaccinated. And this is usually important because here's the challenge we face. None of us is effectively safe until everyone in the world is vaccinated, because as long as the virus is out there and it's mutating, we're going to see variants arise and come back and even bite countries that have already been vaccinated. So we have a strong interest in this, and it's the right thing to do.
Sabemos que han invertido mucho dinero en la iniciativa de COVAX, pero México no es cualquier otro país. En algún momento en el pasado, hace tiempo, usted dijo que México era como unos roomies, como compañeros de cuarto. ¿No tendrían ustedes que ayudarnos con las vacunas?
Well, look, I can say we're in close conversations with our closest neighbors, both with Canada and Mexico, on COVID-19 and how we can continue to strengthen the work that we're doing together in combating it. And one of the things that we're doing right now is developing a framework for how we would use excess vaccines as they become available to make sure that they are effectively distributed around the world. So all of that is in the works.
Durante su audiencia de confirmación ante el Senado de su país, dijo que China supone el desafío más significativo para Estados Unidos. En ese contexto, ¿no es una oportunidad para fortalecer nuestros lazos como región en Norteamérica?
Oh, I think it is, and I think that we have so much of the foundation in place, including the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement, but including the fact that by necessity, but also by opportunity, we already have among the closest and most vibrant and important trade relationships in the world. We have work to do on energy. We have work to do on climate. We have work to do on some of the common security challenges that we face. And all of that is pushing us together. But beyond that, I think there's a moment of opportunity because even in the midst of one of the most horrific human crises of our times, maybe the most, COVID-19, we have the obligation to try to work together to bounce back, not just in terms of global health, but also in terms of our economies. And I think the relationships that we already have, the natural complementarity that we have in a number of areas, will allow us to try to build back better as we work to rebound economically from COVID-19.
¿Cómo vería Washington una colaboración más cercana entre México y China en temas como telecomunicaciones, inversiones en infraestructura o en temas energéticos?
Well, part of the challenge that's posed by China is that a number of the practices it engages in are in absolute violation of the rules and the norms that many of us have worked hard to establish over the years in commercial matters, trade, investment, et cetera. And one of the particular challenges we face is countries relying on untrusted suppliers on technology, including in China, in ways that undermine potentially our security. So we're looking to partners and countries to make sure that as they're engaged, for example, in acquiring technology, that they do so mindful of the security challenges that might pose.
¿Cuáles son los focos rojos que ve en la relación con México?
I wouldn't think about it in terms of red flags. I think about it in terms of common interests and common challenges that we face. Look, we have one of the most remarkable borders in the world, and I know a lot of attention, of course, is paid understandably to migration, but we can't lose sight of the fact that we have an incredibly vibrant living border that is bringing people together every single day with large numbers of our people, certainly before COVID and hopefully after COVID, moving back and forth, connecting us as people, but also connecting us through ties of trade, family, and that's usually important. But of course, we have to manage that border effectively. We have to make sure that it is a living and dynamic border that produces opportunity and growth for both communities while also being safe and being managed effectively.
¿Cómo ve la relación entre ambos países, entre nuestros países?
Well, it's less a worry and more I think obligation we both have to try to deepen even more our partnership on these issues that are affecting the lives of our people every single day, Mexicans and Americans. We have, for example, the big problem of transnational crime and transnational criminal organizations. Now, this is having deep impacts on both sides of the border we share in terms of crime and violence in Mexico, drugs in the United States, trafficking of weapons, trafficking of people. So I think it puts an obligation on both of us to find ways to deepen even more our cooperation.
Por ejemplo, ¿la política energética del gobierno mexicano les preocupa?
I think there too we have real opportunities going forward, but I think Mexico also has a strong interest, particularly in terms of rebounding from COVID economically, in making sure that the investment environment is as strong as it possibly can be to attract foreign investment, including investment in the energy sector.
¿Confían en el gobierno mexicano en la lucha contra el crimen organizado?
This is an incredibly hard challenge, and I think we very much recognize that. We know the difficulties that it poses, but we're approaching this in partnership and with respect for Mexico, for the government, for the challenge that it has before it. But we're in this together. This affects both of us, and we know the effect that it has on the Mexican people every single day, particularly in terms of violence. We know the effect that it has on our citizens, particularly with regard to drugs. And so this is a matter of, I think, both of us needing each other to work together as effectively as we can to deal with the challenge that we both face.
A ver, pero esto es importante. ¿Ustedes confían en el gobierno mexicano?
Yes, because again, I think we're motivated by the same objective, the same desire to better the lives of our people, including making sure that they're safer, that they're more prosperous, that they have more hope for themselves and their families going forward. We have that shared commitment, and of course, we share something that's absolutely foundational, which is we're both democracies. And the basic values that animate our countries are the same. So, look, as I said, one of the very first things I did was to call my counterpart. The president did the same. We are very much looking forward
Okay.
to a strong relationship, a strong partnership going forward.
La relación entre México y Estados Unidos lleva muchos años concentrada en temas migratorios. La solución, y en eso parecen estar todos de acuerdo, no es que México ponga a miles de efectivos de la Guardia Nacional en la frontera sur para evitar el ingreso de centroamericanos, sino un auténtico plan Marshall para Centroamérica. ¿Es posible hacerlo y hay la voluntad política para hacerlo?
I think it's both possible and necessary. Possible because, to some extent, we got a start at this before. When President Biden was vice president at the end of the Obama-Biden administration, even with a divided Congress, he secured almost $1 billion to help the governments and to help the countries, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, to deal with some of the drivers of forced migration, to improve the lives of their people when it comes to crime, corruption, criminal justice, opportunity. So I think that demonstrated that there actually is a will. Now we have an ambitious program that will be reflected in our budget to secure those resources over 4 years to make sure that we are helping our partner countries deal with some of these drivers. So I think it really is possible, but again, it's necessary. And you know, these are hard things. They take time. We can't just flip a light switch and get them done. But we've already taken significant steps to create a more orderly, a safer, and a more humane border. And as we work on this, I think we'll get to a better place.
Señor secretario, para finalizar, para México fueron 4 años de sobrevivir la relación con Estados Unidos, con el gobierno de Trump. Fue cansado y estresante, hay que decirlo. ¿Qué podemos esperar de la relación con la administración Biden?
I think what you can expect, first of all, is tremendous respect, real friendship based on the fact that we are the closest of neighbors, and we need, I think, to become even more the closest of partners. That basically we are in this together. The lives of Mexicans, the lives of Americans are as intertwined as any two countries and any two peoples can be. And so we have a strong shared interest if we want to both improve the lives of our people, to work together to deepen our cooperation. And of course, this is not going to be easy. We're going to have differences, and that's normal. The closer you are, the more issues, the more challenges you have to face. Of course, there'll be differences, but we approach them from a position of having tremendous respect for our friends, neighbors, families, even in Mexico. And that's the spirit in which we want to work together.
Y ya para terminar, ¿quién va a ser su quarterback en la relación con México?
Well, of course, our quarterback, our coach, our manager is President Biden. He's had, as you know, deep engagement in the relationship with Mexico, going back to the time when he was in the United States Senate, and then certainly as vice president. I know he looks very much forward to engaging across a whole series of issues, and it's certainly something I'm going to be spending time and attention on as well.
Muchas gracias, señor secretario.